This streaming setup that I'm about to talk about right here is for experts only, for pros only. Okay, that was a little bit too upfront. This thing is $5,000. Most of you guys aren't gonna buy this, but I just wanna show you what it can do because hey, depending on how you live stream, maybe something more affordable, the miniature versions of this will help you do what you need to accomplish. So let's get into it. What's up everyone? Hi, if you're new around here, my name is Sara Dietschy, rhymes with Peachy. This is the brand new Roland V-160HD and you're like, what the heck is that? Well, this is a video switcher. It does a lot of video switching things. This is a pre-release, they're about to come out, and I have more of a general tech YouTube channel. Usually I don't go into depth about video switchers, but one, there's not a lot of content out there explaining actually how this works, and two, ever since I did a tour of Meet Kevin's setup, I was obsessed. I love video switchers now, and this is basically the new iteration of what he uses. If you can hear that, it has a slight hum because this video switcher is more designed to be at a front of house, you know, at an event, or like maybe a church service where it's in the back with all the video and audio people, not necessarily right in front of a person filming a video like I am, so you're gonna hear a little bit of that hum. And also our neighbors are jamming out to some rock music right now, so hopefully using the lav you don't notice it too much. Okay guys, check this out. I'm already, woo, okay, there's a lot of things going on. I'm just gonna press some buttons. Nice, nice. Let's press some more buttons. Whoop, whoop, wipe, mix. Very nice. If you guys are familiar with music events, whether it's like a church service or maybe you're at like a music festival or something, this is very common here. They'll do like the half fade. And you'll have someone like playing guitar, rocking out, and then this is another person like, oh, singing, and then you have them like overlaying each other. This is cool too. Okay, bring it back, Sarah. That's what that's for. This thing is just so much fun. Okay, so I know this video isn't for the majority of my audience, but guys, I feel like this stuff is so fun. Getting dorky, getting in the weeds. So I'm gonna show you the setup right now. So we have this camera. This is a Blackmagic camera, and it's pointing at my teleprompter that we're using as the multi-view output. So this is where I see all of the cameras that we have plugged in. I have this still loaded, and then I also have the computer plugged in via HDMI. Shout out to MacBooks with HDMI ports now. And then overhead, and then here's the B cam and the A cam. And so basically with this camera that you're seeing right now, you are seeing what I'm staring into. This is the teleprompter, and I'm gonna kind of bring it out so you understand, bring it back in. Wow, this is so meta. Okay, so this is one of the outputs that I have going out from this 160 HD. So the second output that I have is over here. So this is a Shogun, an Atmos Shogun, and you can record straight to the monitor. And basically, I have this output set to program. And what that means is the program monitor is the final image that the audience is going to see. Whether you're displaying this, you're switching it on a screen, again, at a music venue, whether it's a live stream, the program is always what people are gonna see. Okay, so we're back to the multi-view, and as you can see, on the left here, you have PVW, so that's preview. So on left, that's our preview. On the right, that's our program. So like normal video switchers, usually you can preview something before you make it go live. Okay, so let's play it with the A and B cam. So I'm talking to you guys, this A cam looks great, and I wanna check out what the B cam looks like. Looks good, this is the B cam. So we have this on preview, which means we have it on deck. And in 3 seconds, I wanna switch the B cam from the A cam. I can press cut. That is a clean cut that basically changes what's in the preview to the program. That's essentially you going live with that image. Or you can press auto, and that's gonna do a cross dissolve. That's gonna do whatever transition you have set. Or you can use the hammer, or they probably don't call this the hammer. What do they call this? T-bar, that's it. So bottom row, preview, top row, go live, turn it to program. So you can also just press it to go straight to the cuts. You don't have to, you know, queue it up in preview and then make it go live. You can just cut. Okay, so that's like the basics of a video switcher, right? preview, and program. And what's so cool about this 160 HD is you have so many inputs to choose from. You basically have 16 total inputs. The top row is 8 SDI inputs and the bottom row is 8 HDMI inputs. And then you have 3 SDI outputs and 3 HDMI outputs. And then out of those 16 inputs and also a possible 16 graphics that you can load up, you can then assign those specific inputs or graphics to 10 different switches here. And you can see that here we'll switch to the 16 input view where you can see every single SDI input and every single HDMI input at the same time. And then you can toggle in between that and the 16 still preview to understand, okay, I want that peach, I want the HDMIs, and then you basically assign those inputs to these keys. And how you do that is you basically go to video assign and you say, this input 1, I want assigned to HDMI 1. Input 2, HDMI 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So it's kind of redundant if you only have a few inputs. It basically makes sense to just go input 1 is HDMI 1 and so on, right? And then here we go at input 6, I have still 5, that's the peach logo. And then input 7, HDMI 7, and so on. And then we're back to the multi-view setting where you have your preview, program, and the first 8 inputs. Does that make sense, everyone? Does anyone need a break?
Yes.
Yeah, because my brain hurts a little bit too. So you might be like, okay, you have 16 inputs to choose from and also 16 stills. That's a total of 32 things to switch in between, and you only have 10 switches. Why? Well, this basically enables you to assign these switches to anything you want via the video assign. However, that means you can still keep any cameras, stills loaded up. You can keep them plugged in and you don't have to unplug them for another team to use this, for another operator to use this. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. This is where some cool stuff happens. Okay, let's start with some Pip Action. So we have the main program as the top-down shot, but hey, I want you to see myself. So I'm gonna bring in the Pip, and now here I am talking, and oh no, I need to position myself better. So we can adjust here, make it bigger or smaller, and this is all via physical buttons, which is just so cool. Zoom in, zoom out. What's crazy is you can have 4 different Pips at one time. All of the Pips. Okay, so we also have these 3 different modes over here: aux, memory, and macro. Aux is essentially a third output that you can send different content to. So say you are throwing a live event and you want the program monitor to represent what people are seeing within the stadium, program, that's the main output, great. But you want another output that's a little bit different that's being sent to a live audience. So the program monitor maybe doesn't have any overlays, but the aux output that you're sending via your computer maybe to the live stream that all of the live audience is seeing maybe has like an overlay with the band's social media or something like that. You can also think of this as just another output to monitor something else with. Like if it was up to me, I would have a bajillion screens in front of me and I would maybe send this ATEM that you're seeing right now to the aux, and I can specify that by these buttons. So sending input 1 through 10 to the aux, I would maybe send this main ATEM to that screen, so no matter where I'm switching, I always see what I look like. Am I doing okay? So you can use the aux in a lot of different ways. Okay, so that is aux. What about memory? This is where it's really cool. So remember when we were talking about the different inputs and different essentially operators using the same switcher? This is where it's gonna come in handy. So say I have, okay, I'm team A, okay? I have HDMI set up the way I want, but team B mixes in SDI, has different graphics. So memory is literally where you can change everything about the video switcher, and then you can save it and then pull up all of your settings when you're ready to do your switching. So what the heck does that mean? So if you can pay attention to this monitor over here, or what I have in the teleprompter, that's the multi-view setup, we're basically gonna switch in between memory 1 and 2. So memory 1, memory 2, memory 1, memory 2. So operator 1, loading up all his settings, his or her settings, you know what? She's operating this. I feel like there's a lack of female operators out there. Shout out ladies, ladies operating things. That just got me dislikes, but hey, it doesn't matter. Dislikes don't exist on this platform anymore. So this changes the settings for the outputs, for literally what inputs are in the video assign. As you can see, HDMI 1, HDMI 2, and then I'll switch and we'll go to video assign again, HDMI 5, still 5. So everything changes, the outputs change, and basically this allows you to get everything the way you like it, where it's perfect. You save it to memory 1, and then when someone else comes along, they can save their settings to memory 2, and it just saves everything on the video switcher. How cool is that? All right, and this last mode, macro mode, I just love all the pretty colors. It's so nice. This is really cool. You can basically load up presets and with a press of a button, get all of these different things. So the first one here pulls up a Pip on this side of the screen. And guys, did you see that? That was so fun. It was like a news show. All right, we're gonna do macro 1 again. Ready? Hi, my name is Sara Dietschy here with the Peach News. Breaking news, there's a peach. That's so cool. Macro number 2. Oh, and this other thing that happened up here. The news. And then macro number 4, split screen. So this is really great for interviews. Hello, yes, V-160HD. How do you feel like the video is going so far?
Well, Sarah, I think this video is getting kind of long. You should wrap things up.
Oh God, that was kind of rude. Yeah, well guess what? I thought this video was gonna be a comparison with 3 different switchers. That's not happening. I think I'm just gonna post this video. It's gonna get 0 views because it's so specific, but maybe I get a searchable audience with it, and you've never heard of my channel anymore, and you're like, wow, she has so much good information that other people haven't done. I'm gonna hit that subscribe button. Shout out to those 2,000 people who are watching. So that's another macro that pulls up that, and what's so cool is you can do, you know, hey, how does it line up? Is it center? Do we need to scoot over the split screen? You can also do animations like that first macro. So not only do you have the vertical split like that, but you also have horizontal split. There's just so many options. So a lot of people, when they do interviews online like this, they use something like StreamYard, but that can get up to like $50 a month. But that's a really easy way if you just want to do kind of video switching with a guest with a webcam. Obviously, this is like a super expensive switcher. It's like $5,000. So I'm not saying that like get this if that's your only use case, but it's just super versatile. Okay, and the last thing I want to touch is the sequencer. This is where things get like kind of crazy. We're gonna hold this sequencer on button down for 2 seconds. Okay, so we have the sequencer turned on, and look, we have programmed here a series of events that will happen. So number 1, we're gonna pull up input 1 for 5 seconds, input 3 for 5 seconds, macro 1, input 1, macro 2, macro 3. So when we hit auto sequence, look at this. You'll see in the program monitor, so we had input 1 for 5 seconds, now we're on input 3. It's now going to progress to macro 1, which is the news. Gonna go to input 1, then it's gonna go to macro 2 and macro 3 for 5 seconds. So as you can tell, this is so powerful for a show type setup or a you know, TV show or music show, things that have to happen on the dot every single night at the same time. Huge. Say what you're doing isn't that precise, like by the second. Well, you can set up all of those different steps that happen and then just trigger the next event by pressing this next button. So we're starting at step 1, input 1. We're gonna press next and it goes to input 3. It's just moving down the list of actions that we already set up. How cool is this? I mean, this literally makes me wanna like turn this office into like a TV show and have someone in the back doing the switcher. This is so fun. And there's still so much stuff. You can also literally camera control those pan and tilt cameras straight from your video switcher. You have XLR inputs on the back to hook up a mic or audio. There's also a really powerful app that you can just throw up on the iPad, and you can monitor the audio levels that you're bringing in from your video cameras or other audio sources. It's just so powerful. But I don't think I want this video to be an hour, so I think we will stop there. I tried to watch the videos that already existed on this before this, and no one actually talked about what things mean. So I hope this clears it up for you. And I guess we can touch on who the heck is this for. We did a little bit earlier, but I don't necessarily see this as like, you know, I'm a YouTuber. I don't necessarily see this as a YouTuber's or you're just starting out in content creation type setup. I see this as, if you're someone like Meet Kevin, he basically runs a newsroom on his own, then yeah, this makes a lot of sense. He has the older version of this. He probably wants this version. But this is huge for video villages, for front of houses that basically run a lot of audio and video, are basically outputting to screens in real life. There's an audience in real life, but also using that aux, using the other outputs to then output another image to a live stream. So there's just so much flexibility. And then obviously with the different memory settings, you can have a lot of different operators on this machine, or a lot of different scenarios that you plan for. Maybe it's just one operator, but hey, on the weekends, you do the video for a mega church, and then you tour with a band during the week, and then on your off days, you stream on YouTube. Then you could set up the different memory settings for those specific scenarios, and I guess just carry around this big ol' V160. It is smaller than the previous version. So, okay, so this probably wasn't my most entertaining video, but hopefully you learned something, knowledge, and hey, you might end up at a job where you have to operate something like this. So kind of having this knowledge tucked away, I feel like is useful. And as someone who's always trying to get process down and make things quicker, when you have a solution that is a hardware-based solution instead of a software-based solution, like something like OBS, you are going to run into just so few issues compared to switching on OBS or something like that. Because with software, with your computer, like trust me, I've done so much live streaming with both situations. Software, like you will deal with bugs. It is not reliable at all. However, if you have a beefy computer and you have the right hardware that in addition to your PC, guess what? You're gonna be able to stream, well, and also really good internet, like really good internet, you will be able to stream at 4K, 4K 30, maybe even 4K 60. So those are the benefits with software streaming. Maybe I'll do a part 2 video just talking about, OBS, Elgato stuff, all of that. But really when it comes to hardware switching, it is just so reliable and you lose out on resolution. This is a 1080 video. This can only output 1080. This can output 1080 60 frames per second. So it'd actually be good if you also game, But these smaller switchers only output 1080 30, which might not even be the right solution. The ATEM Mini Extreme ISO, the big guy from Blackmagic, this actually does output 60 frames per second, which could be handy. So let me know what you think in the description below. And guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, check out peachymerch.com for the most beautiful AirPod cases. Your AirPods deserve to stand. Apple Watches, all of the we're not selling Apple Watches, Apple Watch straps, all of the things. Let me know if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. And if you have any questions about these more consumer-centric, maybe more up your alley switchers, leave me a question down in the comments below. And if this video didn't just completely bomb, I'll probably do another video. It's gonna bomb though. I don't know why I spent so much time on this video. It's gonna be a 10 out of 10.
Follow your passions.
Stay peachy. Okay, bye.